Hello and welcome, fellow explorers. Welcome to the Mystic Lemur. My name is Rita, if we have not yet met, and it is my honor to be your guide through the messages of this reading today. For this pick a card, the inspiration comes from the time that we are experiencing right now at the time of this reading, but this is a timeless reading, so whenever this message happens to find you, there may indeed be something in there for you. The energies at play are, right now we're in the solstice of December 2019. So here we have 3 sunny calendulas to support us in our reading. So calendulas, they're also known as pot marigolds, and they're a very special kind of plant because you can see that they love the sun. They're quite like the sunflowers in that they open in the morning and close at night. And they sometimes move around to also face the sun, as I've seen with my personal calendula garden. They also have some really nice medicinal and nutritious value. So the petals can be eaten in salads and also can be used to make tea if you dry out the flower heads. The flower heads themselves have the most concentration of the oil that has all of the juicy goodness of the antioxidants. But in terms of their other sort of metaphysical properties, they're also associated with the sun and with longevity, shooing away the negative energies, and they're also helpful in bringing forth romantic love and good dreams. If you leave them by your pillow, you can have them help you usher in good dreams. So they're wonderful little mascots for the question that we are asking of our pick-a-card today, which is, how can I shine forth the light in myself more in my life? What are the energies that support me in bringing out my inner fire, my inner sunlight into the world? So with this theme of sunlight, the part of our energetic bodies that is associated with the sun is the Manipura, or the Solar Plexus Chakra. So this is the one that's located between the navel and the sternum, so roundabouts the gut area. So it's associated with digestion and with the sort of the powerhouse of your life. So not only where the energy comes from with your food, but also if you get those sort of like gut sensations or your spidey senses are tingling, that's happening in your Manipura. So this is also what's associated with your ego. So both the sort of the shadow side of the ego, which may be sort of holding you back in various ways, but also with the persona side of the ego, which is your self-worth. So really, what are the things that are helping you shine forth that self-worth, that inner fire that helps you to bring about your best self to your life and to the people around you? So for this reading, we have 3 groups: pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. That's pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So take a few moments to take a cycle of 3 deep, mindful breaths. Let's first find our comfortable seated position, maybe seated on a chair, or perhaps even seated on the ground, anywhere where you can begin to really orient yourself, rooting yourself into the earth, and shooting that energy up through your spine to the top of your head. Taking those 3 deep, mindful breaths, inhale to deep belly breath in, and exhale out through the nose. Another 2 cycles to bring that energetic body into balance, grounding that energy. And then as you're ready, picking the pile that speaks to you. Okay, so having made your selections, and again, if this is, if you're not quite ready, you can always pause the video, let the messages speak forth to you, and we will get started. So let's start with group number 1. Moving these guys off to the side here. Okay, group number 1. What messages do we have to share with you today about how you can shine your inner light forth? So for the first set, the question is, what is currently going on with your your energetic body, your Manipura, and what in the second set will be what can you do about it? So what's currently affecting your Manipura? So you currently are going through a very active phase. So in this deck, the Six of Wands looks to me quite a lot like the Knight of Wands. So in this, the general meaning of Six of Wands is that, you know, you've already kind of gone through the battle and you're really pushing forward into a full-fledged attack. You've got your energies set forth, so you're really ready to be quite active and perhaps even a bit more on the aggressive side of active. So what lessons are at play for you here? So you've got the Hierophant coming up for the lessons. So you're learning to do things possibly in the more traditional route, or maybe coming into more of an established or more institutionally oriented role. So maybe this is something that's much more sort of outward facing, and something that's the lesson that you're learning here is to really do things sort of the expected way. What are the things that are unseen but are supporting you? So you've got the Eight of Swords in reverse. So the Eight of Swords often speaks of having a lot of mental energy that's quite blocked up. So here you can see she's sort of trapped by her mind here. Swords is more of the mental energies, and she's having her clothing falling off. It looks more like it's just like a blanket. She looks like she's quite protective of herself, feeling a bit vulnerable. So she's got this mental energy surrounding her, but it's also sort of encasing her. So with it being in reverse, so the message there might be either that you will be experiencing more of a breakthrough through releasing this sense of mental bind, or sort of these mental blockages, these mental sort of limits that you've put upon yourself. Maybe that you haven't thought that the traditional route was for you up until now. And then again, looking at the Hierophant, it's number 5. So it could also be that there's some big choice that you're making. And this is sort of the pivotal point here is with 8 here, bringing about that new process for yourself. And then finally, what's the outcome for this? Justice in her upright position. So here again, she's major arcana and number 8. So she's associated with balance and with here quite a lot of, from me, my reading of this deck, quite a lot of divine feminine energy. Number 8, so that's again a manifestation number. So you could be bringing forth some big time financial abundance, or you could just be releasing some karma, or having this outcome that's coming forth for you may be an effect of some karma that you've built up, and probably positive karma that's leading to balance between what you've put forth and what you're getting back. So here's what's going on for you. It looks like you are ready to go forth in a more sort of active and aggressive way out into the world, maybe in a way that's teaching you lessons about being a bit more traditional than you have been in the past, which is supported in the background by your releasing some mental blockages that are supporting you in coming forth with your rewards of positive karma. So what can you do now to support yourself in shining forth the best, healthiest outcome for you with this message of what's happening with your inner fire that's firing up right now? So what you can expect to learn from this is releasing this. Maybe you've gone through a sort of a cocooning period recently. The Hermit in reverse would say that either you could take a step back and begin to think about more of the internal processing that's going on, or if you've been in that cocooning phase, it might be time to start stepping out into the light, shining that light forth. And here you can see this hermit is being led by his lantern in front of his Manipura. So yeah, letting that light from within shine forth for you to come out into the world for whatever it happens to be that you're working on right now that is giving you such active energy. So the other part of the lesson being learned here is 9 of Pentacles. And this is a card about the number 9 being coming to an end of a cycle. And this lovely lady here is surveying out across her domain. She's up on this sort of elevated place, so perhaps you're learning to keep your vibrations quite high so you can look out and get a broader perspective on what's going on, especially in what happens to be present in your physical manifested reality with this sort of earthy energy in the pentacles right here. What other sort of unseen energies are supporting you that you can can use or call upon to help yourself shine forth this inner light? I have the Knave of Chalices, so like the Page of Cups here. This is going forth in a new direction. So this is moving forward through connection with your emotions as well as with your inner fire. So if you're thinking about bringing in some more of your chakra work, you might want to think about linking up your sacral, your heart, and your Manipura. So keep all three of those juicy and flowing to help you bring forth this new energy, because in shining your light forward, you want to do it through a way that is supportive of yourself and of everyone else, keeping your cup full before feeding someone else. And then finally, other messages to help you in support of bringing about this ultimate outcome. We have the Five of Swords. So again, this is very active mental energy, so you might turn your active thoughts towards the other messages that are coming forth here. So again, letting go of those limiting beliefs to help bring forth the positive karma that you've got built up. And if you happen to have some limiting beliefs that are around this being traditional, you might want to let your mind wander to that. And some other sort of background supporting energies that we have here. We have the Star in reverse. So the Star is a lovely card to see, and this one is a particularly beautiful one when we have a lady who is pouring forth her cup. It is so full, it is overflowing, that she could fill this entire pool easily. And she's very open about her vulnerability, and it's often a message of hope. So the darkest part of the night is gone, but we still might be in that sort of dark night before the dawn. So being in reverse, message there might well be that keep the faith. You know, it may still seem like this is quite far off, but you might well be that beacon of hope for yourself. So shine that spark from the inside to then let it lead you out through the outside. All right, so what are some additional messages from the plants that we can share with our group number 1 in support of shining your inner light forth to the world? First, we have gardenia, awareness. So yeah, as we suggested here, bringing forth an active awareness to what's going on. So it says, wake up, roll the clouds away, and look. So again, we might be experiencing something that feels like quite a dark night, but you're still your own beacon of hope here. And so waking up to that will help you shine it forth. Next, belladonna, silence. Listen more and quiet be. So here, we may again have this sort of current phase of wanting to be very active, but in your activity, don't forget to listen. And when you listen, really listen to hear rather than just listen to prepare your next statement, right? So use your voice wisely and trust it. You can allow yourself to speak your truth and speak it with kindness. But you can also take that step of wisdom, and sometimes the thing that's best said is the thing that is left unsaid. Let other people have their truth, and you can have yours. So you don't necessarily have to tell everyone else what it is that you're thinking all the time, because your perspective is your own, their perspective is their own, and we can learn more. We can really expand our horizons by bringing in that moment of silence to tap in to the internal guiding system here and let that lead us. And finally, we have forget-me-not, remembrance. Memories in the past hold the key. Very interesting. So yes, this could be karma coming up for you. So if you're feeling these limiting beliefs coming up through your memories, through the stories that you keep replaying for yourself, tapping into this awareness and bringing silence to let those come forth, observe them and then let them pass. then this can help you get past these things that are keeping you locked in and help you, again, bring about that karmic resolution that is in your favor. And then finally, what are some daily healing messages that we can share with our group number 1? We have express your love through your deeds. Yes. Okay, so we have silence. So instead of speaking your love, act your love. Actions speak louder than words. So depending on what your sort of native love language is, you might prefer to speak your love, but in this case, the way that you might be best supported to your healthiest outcome for shining that inner light forward is to really act instead of speak. So walk the walk in addition to talking the talk, and express it through love. All right. Very lovely. These are all of my messages for our group number 1. So if this resonated for you, maybe give us a comment down below and let me know what you think this might be about. Also, if this really pinged something for you, made you feel like this was really resonating for you, you might like to give us a like. And if this is really hitting your vibe, you really think this is your thing, you might want to give us a subscribe and hit the bell notification to keep up to date on how this channel continues to evolve. All right, thank you, group number 1. And now we will be moving on to group number 2. Okay, group number 2. What messages do we have to share with you today about how you can shine forth your inner light? What can you do to bring out your inner sunshine, your inner fire, and share it with the world? So for our first set of cards, this will be telling us a bit more about what's going on with your Manipura, with your self-worth and your inner fire energy right now. So first we have 7 of Pentacles, so you might be at a phase where you've been working really hard and you can see that the fruits of your labor are beginning to manifest, but they're not quite ready to emerge fully into this reality. So you might be sort of wondering, you feel like maybe you're at a crossroads, really evaluating where you're at. But as you can see in this image, it's more of a look of appreciation rather than sort of doubt. So you might be in a space where you are beginning to become aware of how much you are a creator of your own reality and just getting the hang of this sort of manifestation thing. All right, so what are the lessons being learned? Temperance in reverse. So here, Temperance is a card that speaks of really alchemizing those things that have happened for you, taking those negative energies that have previously been holding you down and loving into them to turn the positive out of the negative. Because in this reality, the sort of paradox about it is when we think things have 2 aspects, we have a positive and a negative, it's like 2 sides of the same coin. It's still the same thing. And so coming into your temperance means that you're coming into understanding that alchemizing. So the lesson being learned here might be that you haven't quite fully brought in all of that ability to be your own alchemist. Maybe you're still at the magician phase and you haven't quite leveled up to alchemist. Or it could be that you're still dealing with some negative cycles in the background that haven't quite fully released. And so this could be an indication to you to look a little bit deeper into what those things might be. So you can, again, love into them. The things that seem negative might have some hidden positives that you can pull out. So what are the background energies that are here to support you right now? We have the wheel. So here we go. We have a completion of a cycle. And this card is speaking of, again, of karma. Also ruled by, I believe, Jupiter, so there's quite a lot of luck at play for you as well. So luck is on your side, and you are in the process of completing a cycle. So this bodes very well for you. Again, if this is something that you can pull in this lesson of alchemizing that apparent negative to really begin to tap into your true power and let those things that you've been manifesting come forth. And then finally, what is the ultimate outcome for you? We have 5 of Wands in its upright position. So for this 5 of Wands, I often read this as a sort of a struggle. And it's often, because there's so much green in this card, it seems to be really focused in the heart space. So there might still be some disagreement between your Manipura, your ego, your self-concept, your sort of conscious self, and the heart space that really elevates you to the next level of awareness. So it could be that you're going through this sort of sparring match, bringing your heart space out into your reality, which again can help you with this leveling up to the alchemist and evening out, finishing out this cycle of karma. So with that sort of snapshot of what might be going on with your inner fire right now, what are some things that you can do to bring forth your most healthy, your most positive outcome with this current trajectory? So the first thing, you have swords, 2 of Swords upright. So this particular card looks to me quite a lot like the moon and the star, so like a combination of the moon and the star. And other decks, the 2 of Swords can be quite defensive, but here it looks to me like internally, in the nighttime of your soul, or in the sort of the more unseen subconscious layers, you're achieving more of a balance between your mental self. So the subconscious and conscious self is beginning to come more into balance. And bringing that balance forth can again help with this alchemizing. So what is the another layer of this lesson coming forth? Yep, okay, so another part of this lesson coming forth for you is you've got the 6 of Swords here. So the 6 of Swords often speaks of moving from more turbulent waters to calm. And again, we've got a lot of green in this image, a lot of heart space going forth. So you're balancing out these maybe these sort of turbulent thoughts and coming to more peace, which again can help you with becoming the alchemist that you really are. So what are some other messages about the unseen forces that are supporting you moving forward? Oh, we have a 7 of Swords in reverse. So there could have been some strategery going on. Maybe you or maybe someone else was being a bit deceptive. So this being in reverse may also indicate what's going on to support this end of your cycle here. So maybe there was some dealings that you were doing with that weren't so positive in the past, and you've come to grips with that. You've come into more of an authentic expression of yourself, which is helping to release this karma. And finally, again, part of the ultimate outcome here for you is 10 of Cups. So speaking of a happy family and a happy resolution to the end goal. Really lovely, beautiful card. And you can see the love in these two gaze towards each other. And then they got this happy kid in the background. So, very good outlook for you guys. And the supporting energy in the background that's going with all of this is we've got 9 of Wands. So, again, this could be some sort of redirection coming to the end of a cycle in your energetic flow. So, it could be that this you've really, again, like stepped up into being your own author, being your own creator. And this 9 of Wands, speaking to how you're getting into more of a purified sense of that. So you've begun to let go of those things that aren't serving you, and you're just sort of like looking to see what is peeking up over the horizon. So it's not quite there yet. Some little sense of there's hope, there's truth, but she's not quite looking up just yet. So in the background supporting you, we have these energies of releasing and coming to your full maturity through your inner fire. So what messages do we have for group number 2 from the languages of the flowers? So for you guys, we actually had 4 messages jump out. So we have first, cactus flower, endurance. Hold on, you can do this. So yeah, keep up the faith, keep up the good work. You're gonna make it. The name of the game here is, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So Just keep going. Just keep swimming. We also have stop. Slow down. The pace must abate before it is too late. Yeah, as I was saying, this is a marathon, not a sprint, so don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush to get those things that you've been trying to manifest. You're growing up into something that's much bigger. And yeah, you've got huge things ahead. So slow down. Enjoy the ride. It's not about the end. It's about the journey. As one of the Abraham Hicks ways of saying it is, you wouldn't want all of the food that you would ever eat in your whole life in front of you at this very moment. It would be way too much. So just enjoy the process of seeing the fruits of your labors coming to fruition. You have tiger lily, security. Choose the safe harbor for now. So if you are feeling like you wanted to jump out ahead, again, like maybe you're feeling a bit ambitious, a little bit like you want to get things moving, do so in a way that keeps you in your safe mooring. Find that safe harbor. Find your home base and grow from there. Grow from a firm foundation rather than jumping into something before it's fully baked. Don't jump in before it's fully baked. And finally, we have bonus message, self-acceptance. You are so much more, bird of paradise. You are so much more. You're not just the magician, you're the alchemist. You're leveling up. And finally, words of daily healing that we can share with group number 2. Group number 2, develop flexibility and an aim to be in harmony in all environments. Develop flexibility and aim to be in harmony in all environments. So perhaps that's part of what's going on with this heart energy that's coming out through this 5 of Wands, is you're learning to bring harmony of your inner fire with your heart energy so that you can, again, alchemize those things that appear to be not in your favor and find the favor that is actually there for you. Developing that flexibility of mind, seeing more of the perspectives out ahead of you, no matter what the environment. Lovely messages for our group number 2. Group number 2, thank you so much for listening. I hope this pinged something of interest to you. If you happen to have an idea about what this might be about, go ahead and maybe leave a comment down below. And if you really felt like this was beginning to resonate, something special for you, you might like to give this video a like. And this is really hitting your vibe, you might also like to give it a subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can continue to follow along the evolution of this channel. Thank you so much. And now we will be moving on to group number 3. Group number 3. All right, lucky last, group number 3, not last but not least. What are the energies supporting you and bringing forth your inner fire and shining it out to the world? How can you bring more of that inner sunlight out into the world? What is supporting you in doing that? So for the first set of cards, this will be a little bit of an overview of an energy cast of what is going on with your Manipura, with your inner heart fire, your inner sun, self-worth fire right now. So first we have strength in reverse. So strength upright. One way of reading this is the Durga card, or the Mother Earth, Mother Nature, but in her more ferocious aspect. So here we have a beautiful naked lady. So she's completely vulnerable. She has none of her armor up, but she's got the support of her lion familiar here as leading her on. So what this might mean in reverse is either you haven't fully quite integrated coming into your own power. You might be in a space where you are being invited to step into that inner power. Maybe not quite ready to trust it yet. So this card might be indicating to you that now's the time to really begin to trust that inner worth, because your ego is there. And, you know, we do talk about ego death and developing spiritually, but it's there to support you. It's there to keep you safe, even though keeping you safe also keeps you small. So you can't really step forward into your full power without bringing forth also this physical manifested aspect of yourself and loving all bits of yourself, really stepping into your own power. So might be in a space where you are beginning to step into that power that you have. What are the lessons of play? We have chalices, 2 of chalices in reverse. So again, in this deck, the 2 of cups looks quite a lot like the lovers in more the Rider Waite sense. So we have the masculine and feminine energies coming together in union and balance. But it has in reverse here, so what the lesson here might be that you haven't quite found that balance. So maybe that's part of you're not trusting yourself. This sort of Manipura is very much associated with the masculine, so it might be that you're not quite, you're having the sort of the feminine aspect dominant, and the more masculine aspect is not really being allowed to come forth. And what might be part of what this inner strength, inner power that you're not quite stepping into might be about. So those are the lessons that might be at play here. What are the energies behind the scenes that are supporting you? And we have Queen of Chalices. So here again, we have a lot of green in this imagery. She is facing forward, looking into the present. She's in a present moment, and she's living fully through her emotions. She's completely in charge of her emotional well-being. So the part behind the scenes that seems to be really supporting you is this, your intuition is really strong, and your emotional support, your emotional intelligence is quite strong as well. So this can really help you to, you've already got a sense of, like, you trust that part of yourself, bringing it together and with your other sort of face, your persona aspects, your more sun rather than water aspects, can also help you. And then finally, the ultimate outcome, we have the King of Pentacles, so lots of court cards here. What we have here is you are coming into, so you might be sitting in a place where you really trust your feminine aspects, you really trust your emotions, but you don't as much trust your fiery parts. And bringing forth that masculine energy and embracing it is going to help you come to your maximum maturity in being the provider and being the provider for yourself, the provider for your family. And so your ultimate outcome here is in stepping forth into, look at all this yellow back here, stepping forth into your power is you're going to be the provider. All right, so with this outcome, this sort of forecast of what's going on with your self-worth, let's have a look at what advice we have, some messages that you might take to suggest ways that you can come to your healthiest resolution, your healthiest outcome in bringing forth your inner light and shining it to the world. So we have the 6 of Pence in reverse. 6 of Pentacles speaks of, in this card, charity. So looking to those things that seem like they should be below your concern. So sharing your blessings with our street angels and knowing that but for the grace of God, there go I. We are really quite linked, even though this illusion of separation keeps us apart. What's going on here for you is it could be that you are sitting in a space where you are perceiving this separation. And so perceiving this separation means that you're blocking that full embracing of the outward aspects, the masculine energy that you might already have, that fiery part that's really helping you to be your full self in the physical domain. So yeah, the lessons at play for you, again, are coming into that King of Pentacles by trusting yourself that you can be generous towards yourself as well as to everyone else. We have additional messages for the lessons being learned. Set forth your good plans. The 2 of Wands, we have a man here who's gazing into this orb. Looks like it could be a crystal ball. It reminds me of scrying. So really looking inward to set a firm foundation of planning out what your next steps are. And the next card in the deck is Three of Wands, which is about expansion, but here we're just planning for that expansion. So taking some careful thought and having solid plans. Oh, look at this. We have two facing each other. So I'm bringing together this energy of masculine and feminine through some careful planning and some drawing your focus inward. So what are some other unseen energies that are in support of you coming to your most healthy and fully expressed version of yourself through shining out your inner heart, your inner fire? We have Death in reverse. Very interesting. So inner transformation happening. Also, it could be that you are looking to have more of an inner release rather than an external release. It could be that you are learning to let go of those things that may be blocking your manifestations. So again, you are fully in tap with your divine feminine aspects, but maybe you're not quite ready to let go of those things that are blocking you from bringing in the divine masculine and being that fatherly figure towards yourself, that provider, that support, that protector. And then finally, what are some more energies that will support the outcome for you? We have Three of Pence. So here we have an artist who is displaying his work. Another meaning that Three of Pence often has is working together. So it might be that your best step forward is to really look forward to your material wealth and take stock of your creative endeavors. Look to the material well-being that you've already created to get a sense of trusting for yourself, that you can let yourself be this outward-facing person. You don't have to keep everything hidden in. You can be generous to yourself and to others, and you don't have to be afraid of your power. You can really step into who you are. You are supported. More of the background energy at the play and support in the background, back of the deck energy. We have Nine of Swords. So the background energy here is anxiety or doubt. So what you may be sort of having way in the background that's really influencing the way that you're able to express your inner fire and shine it forth is that you're maybe experiencing quite a lot of self-doubt or not really quite sure about what the path forward is. So what are some of the messages of the language of the flowers that we can share with our group number 3 to help shine forth your inner fire and share it with the world? We have zinnia, abstinence. Yeah, interesting. So with this Death in reverse, this might be indicating that you've got some coping mechanisms that aren't really quite working for you anymore. So what you can look to is instead not what you are lacking, but what you do have. So abstinence here is what is not here is the key. So maybe you can, again, the current reading time is at the solstice period of mid to late December, so that's heading into the December holiday season, which is another time when people often have less abstinence than they have had in other parts of life. So whenever you are getting this message, it might be a cue to let go of those things that are like a crutch for you, things that are helping you sort of have a palliative release, but aren't really quite getting you to that full transition to being who you really are, and are blocking you from really stepping into your inner power. Other messages from the flowers to share with group number 3, fuchsia, true feelings. Within you is all you need to know. Yep. So trust yourself. You can look inward to find what you really need. And you're already good at trusting your feelings here. So you start from there and work your way out. You already know what you need to know. Just let it come. Just get out of your own way. And then finally we have cyclamen, resignation. Say goodbye to what you no longer need. Yep. Say goodbye to what you no longer need. Let go of those things that aren't supporting you. All right. So finally, what are the daily healing messages that we can share with our group number 3? Group number 3, we have, enjoy the process instead of always looking for the result. Yeah, enjoy the process instead of always looking for the result. So if you are concerned about getting to where you think you should be, know that you are always exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be, exactly how you need to be. This is all happening in perfect divine timing. And looking back, once you step into your power and once you step into being this support, this provider, this sense of security for yourself and for others, you can begin to see in retrospect how all of those things needed to happen for you to be who you are now. So trust the process. It's not about the end result, it's about the journey. All right, so those are my messages for group number 3. Thank you so much for joining. If these messages pinged something for you, you think you have an idea about what it's like, maybe, or what it's about, maybe give us a comment in the comment section below. And if this really began to resonate something for you, you might like to give it a like. Or if this was really hitting your vibe, you might want to hit subscribe and hit the bell for post notifications so that you can keep up to date on how this channel continues to evolve. Thank you all so much for letting me be your guide for this reading. It is my honor to share with you, but as always, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I hope to see you again very soon. Until then, go in peace to love and to serve. Namaste.